Thanks, Brooke, for the chai. Good morning. It is June 8th. Got to go have a very yummy chai at Noble Coffee in Ashland. Now we're back at the Ashland Ski Hill Road trailhead, and we're going to do something a little different. Yesterday I said that we were going to take a 0 day, and after doing some trail math, we decided instead we were going to head out and do about 9.1 miles today. And this is the start of the next segment that'll take us to Syad Valley eventually in about 5 days. Southern Minnesota guy's dropping us off. Then he's going to go to another trailhead down the trail, park, and then walk back to meet us. So he'll get to hike with us a little bit on trail. We are going to slack pack a little bit, which just means that we're bringing our pack but not everything. So we can leave the tents and the sleeping bags and those kind of things in the car, and we'll get them when we get to the next trailhead down the line. So a little bit lighter pack for a while, which is much appreciated. We just have just the lightest of packs. Feels like we're flying. And Blue Magic just did some math and figured out that we are going to be slack packing for our whole uphill climb today. Woohoo! That will be awesome. It is so great to have Southern Minnesota guy as our trail angel who can support us and help us do this kind of stuff. So, yay! It's a wonderful day. Let's go. Cheers. Been walking through the nice shady trees for a little bit, but came out into this opening, and here to our left is beautiful Mount Shasta. Hopefully you can see it between those two trees straight ahead. It's hard to know how much the camera can pick up, but to our eyes it looks beautiful. So we just got a Garmin message from Southern Minnesota guy that the road to that next trailhead is closed. So our slack packing dreams have been quashed. We were about 1.3 miles into the day when we got the message, so we just added 2.6 miles to our day, and we're headed back to the original drop-off point to meet back up with him and get our gear. We're bummed, but glad that we have the inReach messenger to be able to send messages to one another, so we didn't get all the way there and then not be able to meet up. So we're learning. We went back to the original drop-off point at the Mount Ashland Ski Road, met back up with Southern Minnesota guy, and he took us up to the Grouse Gap Snow Park, and we are going to cut on a side trail down and reunite with the PCT and go back to the point where we turned around, so we will have continuous footpath. So all is not lost, but we did learn a little bit of a lesson that if we try to do this kind of thing in the future, that we will scout the meetup point first before getting dropped off. And we are sure thankful for the Garmin messaging that helped us solve this problem before we went too much further. So, and Southern Minnesota guy is hiking with us a little bit on the trail, so let's get going. An unexpected bonus of this reroute is that we got to drive past the Mount Ashland ski area, and there is a bike race going on right today. So there's a whole bunch of bikers biking up this Mount Ashland ski road. Much admiration for those folks. And then once we got to the ski resort area, the parking lot was bustling. They had music going. It was looking like a good time, but we had to keep on keeping on. All right, Blue Magic is attacking the blowdown.
Or it'll attack me.
Success. We have come back to the point where we turned around earlier, so we are now continuing heading southbound from the point where we had to turn around slack packing. We left our packs back at the intersection with the road, and we'll reunite with our packs and keep on trucking. It is a gorgeous Sunday morning, and like I said earlier, there's a bike race and a whole bunch of people at the Mount Ashland ski resort enjoying things, and we're seeing a lot more day hikers. So we just encountered a lady who shared a fun fact with us that there is a channel on YouTube called Plant Wave, and by putting sensors around plants and sensing their electromagnetic force, they can turn that into music. And that is so fascinating to think that the plants could sing. I certainly feel like singing when I'm out here walking, but I will not share that with y'all because I am not a good singer. I just make a joyful noise unto the Lord. These are blow down so nice, we did them twice. Check out the super cool green fuzzy moss on all of these dead tree limbs. This is what the trail is for a little while. We're going to be walking up a waterfall. All of the snow is melting at higher elevations, so the trail has been a little wet. We can see patches of snow at higher elevations, so it's pretty likely that we will encounter more snow, if not today, for sure in the next coming days. And we brought our micro spikes just in case. All right, here's another big, massive blowdown, but looks like people have made a trail around it. So no gymnastics moves needed, just a small detour. So amazing how the vegetation can change so quickly. So now we're in a more open area, and we've got a whole bunch of these small, really kind of squirrely little trees, squiggly branches. Guess they got to be tough to make it up here. And then these really cool corn lilies, I think is what they're called. Here is the first snow on the trail. We can see Mount Shasta in the distance with clouds around its peak. And then if we turn a little bit, we think that is the back of the Mount Ashland ski resort. We're here at the Grouse Gaps Day Use and Nordic Center, and had a beautiful lunch in this nice rock and timber shelter with a fireplace and firewood. Enjoyed the Backcountry Foodies cranberry walnut quinoa recipe. That was a first. We give it 2 thumbs up. And now Southern Minnesota guy is gonna hike back to the car, and Blue Magic and I are gonna keep on trucking down the trail. So you can see the shelter is open on 2 sides, and it has a nice big fireplace in the middle with a little bit of firewood left there. And then here's the view that you get. And not pictured, a pit toilet, also a very nice amenity. Would give this 5 out of 5 stars. There goes Southern Minnesota guy. And here we go, southbound. Well, we came into a shady part of the trail and we saw at least 3 big snowdrifts that we need to climb over. So it's time for the microspikes. Blue Magic already has hers on and she's ready to go. Probably 3 foot deep or possibly a little bit more drifts, and then that's what we got ahead of us. Let's see how much more microspiking we're gonna do. And there we go, there's our switchback. Hey, Ski Bunny and Vampire Girl. Wish you were here.
I'm not gonna lead into anything. Alright. That wasn't so bad.
We think we can see the trail following just below the ridge line across the valley over there. And then I love how you can see the trail just winding its way all along up and over the ridge. We just came up on top of the ridge that we've been steadily climbing, and we've got some gorgeous views on both sides. There are all these super cool little puffball flowers, and the bees are going mad. They are loving on these flowers. Blue Magic and I are here next to a seasonal stream, and she just cooked us up some beef lasagna, and it is hitting the spot. This is a beautiful little stream in the shade with a nice breeze, and this lasagna is everything right now. See the deer down the trail? Hey dear. Woo. See you later. Blue Magic is going to use her softball skills. She has a rock in a little black bag attached to her paracord. And she has identified a good branch. Oh, so close.
Oh.
Yeah! Did it do twice?
Oh yeah. This is...
There we go.
This is why you backpack with a pro.
I don't know that I could have done it any better, honestly. That is why I have converted to the bear can lifestyle. I call it Berry Canelo in honor of the YouTube channel Hike Through This. Korok named her bear can Berry Canelo, and I love that. There we go. So we need it to be out of reach of a standing bear and also out of reach of a bear that climbs up the trunk and can reach out. And I think this is pretty darn good. So now you just got to find somewhere to tie off. How about this smaller tree over here? See that? Bendy one. All right, all right, all right. I say that's pretty darn good. Success!
Yay!
So this is the wrap up for June 8th. We did technically trail miles about 9 miles, but in reality, because of all of our adventures, we probably did closer to maybe 13 miles. We encountered some pretty tall drifts of snow where we felt like we needed a little bit more traction than our regular shoes could provide. So we had micro spikes, which are basically just little metal chains that you attach to your feet, and they give you a little more traction. So we put those on. We only really used them for about maybe 200 yards or so, and then it dried out again. And then by the time we hit the next few patches of snow further on down the trail, we felt like those were doable without the micro spikes on. But there was some pretty fun snow adventures today. So even though it's early June and snow is probably the last thing from most people's minds, it's still here. This afternoon was kind of a slog. It felt long, but we did find a very nice spot next to a stream with the cool running water and the breeze and the shade. So we decided to eat supper at the water source instead of waiting to get to our campsite. That way any food smells are still back at the water source and not anywhere around our tent site. And we have the tent site all to ourselves tonight, and Blue Magic did a very good job with the bear hang. And my bear can, Berry Canelo, is sitting next to her bear hang, so the food's all secure. Feels like it's gonna be a warmer night, so I don't think I'm gonna need my puffy jacket or my beanie. Who knows, I might just even sleep in my sleeping bag liner by itself and not even in the sleeping bag. But we're back in tents, not cowboy camping tonight, and hopefully it'll be a good and restful night. Until next time, come along with me as I hike slow, take a lot of pictures, and eat a lot of snacks. Good night.